This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by CFU, the power of service.
More with UNI Volleyball coach Bobbi Petersen. Coach, a couple All-Americans return with Piper Thomas and Carly Taylor. Talk about Piper, that middle position. You run a pretty quick offense, and her slide attacks really have to have ask a lot from the setter. Talk about her connection with Rachel and how that's grown over the past year.
I think, again, the spring has been great for those two especially, and we do run a very fast offense, and it's not easy to do, and you have to have a lot of things going right to be able to do that. But I think the flexibility that Piper has in being able to hit all different tempos along the net, any position on the net, has been huge. And if you noticed our games last year, even when we were out of system, we forced her the ball in a little bit higher situation. Love her offensive mindset. I think the other part for her that she's improved a ton over the spring is blocking mentality. I think she's really picked up that part of her game, and we look for her to lead our defense with that blocking part of it.
Piper's returning All-American. Also, Carly Taylor got honorable mention, All-American honors a year ago. Her and Jalen Haas, kind of a big lift in that outside hitter position. What do you hope to see from them this season?
I think, what we love most about those two is they're just strong physical kids. So that presence at the net is going to be huge for us, blocking for sure. I think our backcourt can only improve when we have that kind of block at the net. But they're also going to be able to bring that heavy swing. And so we talk a lot about being able to transition out of defense. And part of that ability is having those strong outsides that can get good swings when you dig the ball. And, we've had a lot of great attackers over the years, but I think these two bring that heavy swing that, we're kind of looking for. They both could be the L1 position, which you look for bigger, a little bit more physical kids in those positions. But yet they both could be in that L2 position where it's a little bit more ball control. So they both improved that part of their game as well.
All right, it'll be an exciting test for them early, too. 5 ranked teams. You've got 7 teams on your schedule that are receiving votes here in the preseason poll. How tough is the beginning of this season going to be? And I'm sure you'll feel prepared for the Valley once it starts.
Yeah, I think, that's one of our philosophies is we go out and schedule hard, and part of that's to work towards an automatic or an at-large bid, but another part of that is just to get an opportunity to see where we're at. We want to be one of the best teams in the country. We have to go up against the best teams in the country, and our ability to understand, you can have some issues with that too. When you have a schedule like that, it doesn't always go your way, and we have to understand that it's a process, and we're trying to get to be the best we can be at the end of the season, and we're trying to win a conference championship and a conference tournament to have that at-large bid. So, part of it is that process, and part of it is we're going out there to win too.
All right, we'll have more with Bobbi Petersen coming up right after this. Right now, here's a preview of the UNI football team's defense.